Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 15th of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga and the release of The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise and exactly where things are going, by Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, Disney, Lucasfilm, you name it. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that they are now in a phase of desperation and damage control in order to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to Star Wars. What they really want to do is they want to bring it on the same exact level as the Marvel Cinematic Universe to really have two successful franchises at the same exact time. Essentially, Bob Chapek is uncomfortable with having Marvel being such a successful franchise and Star Wars being way below it as far as success goes when it comes to box office and ratings. Now, obviously, we do know that a lot of change is coming our way, not just with The Mandalorian Season 2, but also other Star Wars projects out there that are really going to utilize Star Wars in a different way than ever before. Now, obviously, Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control, at least for the most part, when it comes to the new Star Wars films and the new TV shows. She's only involved with two new Star Wars TV shows, the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, and of course, we also got the unknown or untitled animated TV series for Disney Plus that she will also be involved in. However, what's really intriguing all has to do with the new Star Wars trilogy of what would have been if Kathleen Kennedy actually kept both David Benioff and D.B. Weiss a part of the new Star Wars trilogy, and let me tell you, it sounds like it would have been a total nightmare. Now that both, of course, Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are moving on to their new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's explained that both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are currently hard at work on developing multiple plans in order to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world, to evolve the Star Wars brand further. It's explained that Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas are all working together in order to deliver authentic Star Wars stories to the fans. However, behind the scenes, it's described that Kathleen Kennedy's projects are being cancelled one by Disney's Bob Chapek, where it's noted that he recently just fully scrapped the tie-ins and the connections to the previously dubbed Kathleen Kennedy trilogy, where she was working with David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. It's described that this trilogy, originally before it was officially cancelled, involved Kathleen Kennedy being very unhappy with David Benioff and D.B. Weiss's work, and had them redo the new trilogy over again as far as the overall plot. This was one of the main reasons as to why Dave and DB left Star Wars to go with Netflix and other creations out there, because of creative differences. Kennedy wanted to focus on a new timeline that would take place before the Old Republic era, that would involve no wars in the very beginning of the Jedi. Kathleen Kennedy wanted to focus on activism in this new trilogy that she claimed as her own Star Wars trilogy, as she was fully calling the shots on how the trilogy would be done that would tap into the origin of the Jedi. The Jedi were aimed to promote identity politics in these new Star Wars films, delivering messages to its audience that were recently officially cancelled by Bob Chapek and all the connecting canon lore that was canon sold along with it. Now, it was also set to take place in a new region called the Forbidden Region that George Lucas was creating for The Rise of Skywalker originally. So here's the thing about Kathleen Kennedy, is that this is yet again another prime example that she is very incompetent at Lucasfilm. She really doesn't know exactly what in the world she's doing when it comes to Star Wars, and I can fully understand now as to why David Benioff and D.B. Weiss left Star Wars. They didn't want to deal with that identity politic nonsense. They didn't want to deal with the activism. They didn't want to deal with all these different agendas that Kathleen Kennedy had. And once again, it's one of the major reasons as to why the Boba Fett movie was cancelled, is because everybody that was on board for that movie had a lot of problems with Kathleen Kennedy and knew that they would eventually just get fired. I'm sure that you guys saw that the director of Boba Fett, the original director or writer, whatever it was, talked about this, about Kathleen Kennedy, and how he expected that somebody would eventually just get fired anyway, and that's why they left from that project, and why the Boba Fett movie never actually happened, before Solo: A Star Wars Story. So, with that being said, the other thing about this new trilogy is that you really cannot use the Jedi as a way to send a message about activism and identity politics, all these crazy things. It just doesn't work for me. It makes my skin crawl, honestly, to actually involve that into the Star Wars universe. It's just very, I don't know why Kathleen Kennedy has that obsession with including that type of agenda in a Star Wars film, but it's pretty much obvious at this point that it was mostly done on purpose in order to really create new fans that would accept this new normal, quote-unquote, of Star Wars that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to approach. And with all honesty here, I think that this would have been yet another backlash. I think it's good that David and DB left. I think it was a really good choice. And now this new trilogy coming up is going to be probably one of the most best, Disney creations by far, because you got George, John, and Dave having creative control over that now. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.